Okay, let's say you've been running a publishing house for 12 years. You've got everything going your way. You've got great authors, great titles, everything's going smoothly. But everything's going smoothly just isn't any fun. You want to torture yourself. You want to say, gosh, I want to be able to lie awake at night, not being able to make decisions. I want to have to write complicated contracts for one title. I want to figure out how to split royalties multiple ways across authors for a single title and broken down into tiny percentages. I want to struggle with a cover design that does everything in just one cover. Um, Gosh, that sounds like a whole lot of fun torturing myself. How should I do that? Well, the answer is you create an anthology, apparently. Um, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jay Hartman. I'm the editor in chief of Untreed Reads Publishing. We're an independent publishing house that's been around for 12 years now. We're no stranger to doing anthologies. We've done the Killer War Cranberry series, we've done plenty of others. But most of the time, a lot of the heavy lifting has been done by other people. The Killer War Cranberry ones, I've handled those in the past. Those have been pretty smooth. But we were fortunate enough to have some other anthologies done by editors. And that kind of leads us to where we are now. So as we get into 2022, we're starting to look at our new anthologies for the year, what we want to put out. And we also figured it might be a good idea to take people behind the scenes of what it takes to create an anthology. A lot of folks think it's very simple. You pick a bunch of stories, you put them together in a file, and you publish them, and that's it. And there's really a lot more that goes on behind the scenes in the creation of an anthology. So the one that we have coming up first in 2022 is called I Just Died in Your Arms, crime fiction inspired by one-hit wonders. And with this new video series that we're calling From Submission to Publication One Hit Wonders, we're going to take you on a step-by-step exploration of how we go from getting everybody to submit stories to the final book being held in our hands. We're hoping that you find the journey interesting. I hope you'll be there for sympathy as we go along when things go horribly off the rails, as they are likely to do from time to time. It's just sort of the nature of the beast. For this first video, though, I want to kind of tell you how we got to where we are now and what we're doing right now in the process for the anthology, and then what you can kind of expect coming up. So this all kind of got started back in, I believe it was 2019, 2020. And I worked with author and editor Josh Pachter on The Beat of Black Wings, crime fiction inspired by the songs of Joni Mitchell. And Josh came to me with this anthology already completed. He had already picked all the authors, compiled the stories. It was a pretty straightforward opportunity for us to just go ahead and publish it. After the success of that, discussed with Josh about doing another one, and that became Only the Good Die Young, crime fiction inspired by the music of Billy Joel. So now we had two anthologies and what we're sort of calling the music mystery series. And with that came a third book created by Sandra Murphy called Peace, Love, and Crime, crime fiction inspired by the music of the 60s. So there we were with three anthologies, all based around murder, mystery, and crime. And all three were very successful because people really enjoy music. It's the one sort of thing that kind of everybody can relate to. So during an offhand discussion online one day in the short mystery fiction group, Josh kind of casually threw out the idea of an anthology based around one-hit wonders. And for those of you that don't know, one-hit wonder is described as the song by a artist or a band where the song typically hit the top 10 or is just so well known it's always associated with that artist or group, but it's the only hit that artist or group ever had. They never showed up on the radar ever again. There's so many out there, and one-hit wonders to me are some of my favorite music. And as a kid growing up in the 80s actually had the most one-hit wonders of any decade. I mean, you look at songs like Mickey by Tony Basil, uh, Funky Town by Lip Sync, just so many iconic songs. And I thought, this would be a really fun collection for me to put together. I love the music. I love the idea of crime fiction inspired by it. And of course, I Just Died in Your Arms was a one hit wonder in itself. So I decided to take the reins and put together this anthology. We opened it up to submissions in early 2021. Um, and at first, we were a little slow to get submissions. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go ahead and keep submissions open till the end of the year. Submissions closed December 31st, 2021. Well, anthologies typically go one of two ways. So either you have uh, authors that you invite to write in the anthology, which is what Josh Pachter usually does with his, or you open the entire thing up to submissions so that every story that's accepted is a an unknown going into it. You just don't know who's going to make the final cut. Um, in the case of one hit wonders, I decided to do kind of a hybrid version. So there are some authors that were invited to participate, and they will be in the final edition. And I believe there's 5 authors that I didn't invite for, whose names I'm not telling yet. The problem is that normally that would mean I like to keep just 12 stories to an anthology. That means I've only got room for 7 more people, which, in the past, not an issue. Uh, we typically receive between 35, 50 submissions for some of our anthologies. We got over 100 for one hit wonders. More than 100 submissions. Ouch. I have to fill 7 spots in the anthology from over 100 submissions. This is such a daunting task, I can't even begin to tell you. Usually it's fairly easy for me. I was not expecting to receive so many, and from what I've read so far, they're all really good. But it has to happen. It has to be called down. Um, so yeah. So right now, where I'm at, I am in the reading process and trying to whittle things down, and it's torture. I have not made a single decision yet. I am 30 days, 31 days past the end of the submission window. I do have authors that are already starting to email me and say, hey, what's going on with that submission? Please don't kill me. As I go through the process and make the submissions, I'm going to bring all of you along with me. I'm going to be sharing my spreadsheets with you as you see how I lay things out to try to figure out which stories to include. You're going to get to see who gets in. You're going to get to hopefully see some of the authors as they get accepted, hoping to do some Zoom calls and things like that with those folks. But really, the idea behind this series is to really just take you along the journey and show you that it's not as easy as a lot of people may think. I am getting ready to head out on vacation for a little bit. It's my 50th birthday. Feel free to tell me in the comments about how young I look. 30 would be good. Let's try not to say that I look older than 35. 30 would be great. But we do not get this channel monetized. We are not that big of a channel. So I do hope that you folks will subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when there are new videos that are going to be available. It just kind of helps us spread the word, helps keep people engaged. But we don't make a dime off of any of our videos. So there's never going to be that wrong, horrible hype of, oh my gosh, press the button, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. If you do, we appreciate it. It just means that you're enjoying our content and it'll help other folks discover our content as well. Be sure to check out the other videos on our channel. Down below here, You're going to see some links to the murder music mystery anthologies that I've talked about in today's video. So the next time you see me, hopefully we'll be a little further along in the submissions process. Um, it's kind of embarrassing not to be further along, um, and I struggle. So watch for YouTube shorts as I wake up in the middle of the night, uh, struggling to figure out what story I'm going to take, which ones I'm going to have to turn down, and it's only the beginning. Keep in mind, we have a September 25th deadline. So September 25th is National One Hit Wonder Day, which means the anthology has to be ready to go. Today is, as of recording, is February 1st. It's not a lot of time. So I got to get my butt in gear. Feel free to tell me also in the comments what your favorite one hit wonder is. I would love to know. It would also be great if it turns out your favorite song ends up as one of the stories in the anthology. So thanks for coming along on the ride. I know I don't have as much to share with you today uh, as I will in future videos, but I wanted to kind of get you started on our project, and we'll kind of see where it all goes from there. Very much appreciate all of you coming along for the ride. Feel free to leave comments, messages. Uh, I do reply to everything, and really eager to find out how you folks like this series as we go along. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you in the next one.